Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a question that sounds super simple, but the answer? Well, it pretty much shapes our entire economy. So, what is a product?
So, let me ask you, what is a product? Just take a second. When you hear that word, what's the very first thing that pops into your head?
I'm guessing for most of you, the answer is pretty obvious, right? It's something you buy, like a can of soda, a new phone, a car. It's a thing, an object you can actually hold or use. Sounds simple enough.
Yeah, well, this is where things start to get really interesting, because that definition, that's just the tip of the iceberg. If we want to really get what a product is, we've got to think way, way bigger.
See, a product isn't just one single thing. It's more like a solution with multiple layers, all built to solve a customer's problem or satisfy some kind of need. So, come on, let's peel back those layers together.
The way marketers see it, a product has 5 distinct levels. Think of it like a Russian doll, Or maybe like an onion. At the very, very center, you've got the core benefit. And as you add each layer on top, the product gets more complete and a whole lot more competitive.
Okay, so let's start right at the core benefit. Now, this isn't a physical thing at all. It's the real problem you're trying to solve. You've probably heard this one. A person buying a drill doesn't actually want a drill, they want a 1/4-inch hole. That is the core benefit.
So let's apply that to the example we're going to use throughout this explainer, a hotel stay. What's the core benefit there? It's not the building, it's not even the bed. Nope, it's the promise of rest, of shelter. That's the deep, fundamental need that's being met.
All right, moving one layer out, we get to the basic product. This is where that core benefit finally takes a physical shape. It's the absolute bare minimum you need to actually deliver on that core promise we just talked about.
So for our hotel, the basic product is exactly what you'd think: a room, a bed, and a bathroom. That's it. It gives you the rest and shelter, but absolutely nothing else. It's the tangible, physical version of that core idea.
Okay, layer number 3 is the expected product. Now, these are the things that customers just take for granted. These aren't bonuses, not at all. Think of them as the unwritten rules of the game. And if you don't have them, believe me, your customers are going to be disappointed.
Back to our hotel example. You don't book a room and cross your fingers hoping for clean sheets, right? You expect them. You expect the TV to work. And in this day and age, you absolutely 100% expect Wi-Fi. This is just the standard.
And here's where the competition really starts to heat up. The 4th layer, the augmented product. This is where companies throw in all the extras that go way beyond your expectations, the things that surprise and delight you. This is how they make themselves stand out from the crowd.
You know what I'm talking about. A free breakfast, maybe access to a pool and a spa, or that incredible feeling when you get a surprise room upgrade. You weren't expecting these things, but they're exactly why you choose one hotel over another. And by the way, this layer is also how companies justify charging more and build that rock-solid brand loyalty.
And that brings us to the final, outermost layer, the potential product. This is the fun part. This is the world of pure innovation. It's everything a product could be, all the transformations it might go through to keep delighting customers down the road.
So what's the potential for our hotel? I mean, who knows? Maybe it's a room that uses AI to perfectly set the lighting and temperature just for you, automatically. Or how about room service delivered by a robot? Kind of cool, right? This layer, the potential product, is where tomorrow's wow features are being dreamed up today.
Okay, so we've peeled back the 5 layers of a single product. And understanding this is absolutely critical because how a company chooses to build out those layers, well, that decides what kind of product they have. And that, in turn, changes their entire marketing strategy.
So let's break it down. First up, you've got convenience goods. Think soap, newspapers, stuff you buy all the time without much thought. Then there are shopping goods. This is like furniture or clothes, where you actually spend some time comparing prices, quality, style, you shop around. Next are specialty goods. This is the big stuff, like a luxury car or designer jewelry. These are things with unique features that you'll make a special effort to go and buy. And finally, you have unsought goods. This is stuff like life insurance. Things people don't really wake up wanting to buy, so they take a lot more marketing effort to sell.
So, knowing what type of product you have is step 1. But let's be real, in a crowded market, the real challenge is making your product pop. How do you stand out? Well, that's called differentiation. And trust me, it is a game of pure strategy.
And this quote from the marketing legend Theodore Levitt just nails it. I mean, think about that.
Even for something as basic as salt, you can find a way to make it unique. Maybe it's the cool packaging, the story behind it, the customer service, literally anything.
So, one way to do it is with an offensive strategy. This is for the challenger, the underdog, who wants that #1 spot. The classic example is the soda wars, right? Where the #2 brand directly calls out the market leader, pointing out all their weaknesses and showing off their own strengths.
Now, on the flip side, if you're already at the top, you're playing a defensive strategy. Your whole job is to protect your turf. That means you have to keep innovating, you have to be ready to shut down challengers fast. You're basically playing a constant game of king of the hill just to stay where you are.
But look, you don't always have to fight for the whole kingdom. There's also the niche strategy. This is all about finding one small, specific corner of the market and just owning it, serving that little group better than anyone else. You might not be the biggest fish in the sea, but you can be the absolute king of your own little pod.
And this idea brings us right back to where we began. The most important thing to remember is this: great products, great marketing, it's never just about the object, it's about the core benefit. This legendary statement, "We don't sell cars, we sell safety," that's not about selling metal and rubber, it's about selling a feeling, peace of mind. It's a solution to a really deep human need.
So I want to leave you with one final thought. As you go about your day and look at the world, at all the new technology and the way society is changing, ask yourself this one question. The next great product, that potential product we talked about, it's not going to be just another gadget. It's going to be a brand new solution to a really fundamental human need. So, what do you think it's going to be?